Bueno Days is a tool that teleports minds into positive states of confusion.
So I just wanted to share this because I thought it was pretty cool. Is that a thing? Do you hear that? Is this like a tap tap tap? Anyways, so I'm pulling into my driveway and there's this child. There's like, I don't know, he's 8 maybe. And they're riding around on not a Segway. It's like a Segway without handlebars. I don't know what these are called. A hoverboard? Yeah, it's a hoverboard. But it doesn't hover. I hated that name. So he's riding around on a hoverboard, just squatting on it. And he's got a freaking holster, a scabbard on his hip. And he's holding a samurai sword. And he's just chilling. Like, he was in the street and he saw me pull up. So he's like, oh, let me move out of the way and pull up into this driveway here. And I'm like, bro, you're in my driveway. But yeah, this dude's just rocking a samurai sword complete with scabbard on a hoverboard. We're living in the future, y'all. All right, bye. Buenos days and welcome back to the show. Hey, y'all, I just wanted to revisit my earlier topic about human evolution and consumption of alcohol and drugs. Now, as I was rereading about it, they literally call it the drunken monkey theory, which explains how the ability for human bodies to consume alcohol and metabolize it, right, to break it down in your liver, developed in our monkey primate ancestors far before humans ever existed, right? So when you see these kinds of traditions, you have to assume that there is a positive benefit to the human body. Now, one thing that's been long common in all human society and the evolution of agriculture is that probably one of the earliest recorded instances that humans have of crops being grown, not just for food, but was the development of alcohol. And the reason that's so important is because water sources were frequently at risk for being polluted, infected with bacteria. Water was not safe. So for a long time in early human social evolutionary development, the safest source of water would have been from fruits. And more than that, you take that one step further. Now you're fermenting those and you create good booze. Now, when we say, alcohol, we're talking like, I think the what is it, the BVA, the ABV, the alcohol blood volume percent concentration, whatever that is, it was probably close to like no more than 4%, right? We're talking about Kirkland brand level Costco beer, basically just water. Yeah. So another point I wanted to talk about was I mentioned birds and how birds do this. I wanted to specify. So it's not just fruit that falls on the ground bad. There's a very specific process to it. Apparently, it has to do with it's very specific to like springtime, and when plants will get frosted over the winters, they're iced over. As they frost, their temperatures rise. That rise in temperature is what's causing that fruit to ferment, and that's what's allowing birds to willingly, might I add, get drunk off of this. And when you hear about, birds hitting your door, birds crashing your window and dying, why they do this? Why didn't they avoid the massive building in there? So they were probably drunk and driving under the influence. So don't drink and drive. Another piece to add to that, so it's not just fruits that are affected by rising temperatures, fermenting their fruits and creating delicious alcoholic beverage for patrons. bumblebees will experience this. So as you're a bumblebee, as bumblebees do, you're fluttering around and picking up some nectar to bring back to your hive. Well, after the frost thaw, certain flowers, their pollen will also begin to ferment. And it will fuck up the bumblebee. They will get drunk. They will no longer fly. They will walk around on the floor. You have pretty common thing to witness when you have in springtime, when you have a lot of flowers undergoing this fermentation process of their pollen, their nectar. The fucked up part is that as a responsible, productive member of bee society, you can't be bringing back booze into the colony. You'd fuck up the whole hive. You'd be killing, they've used that honey to feed their babies. The babies are gonna get drunk. You're gonna get fetal alcohol syndrome. You can't have that. So you know how bees use dance to communicate, right? Their bees are fucking awesome, but they'll map out the path to their, to their favorite flowers. Well, bees, in addition to drone bees and worker bees, have much larger bees. And when they see a drunk bee approaching the hive, and they're like, yeah, you're not getting in here, bud, they will, in some cases, turn the bee away and exile them permanently. They're no longer welcome back to the hive. But in other cases, they'll just rip off their legs and wings and leave them to die. So yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy. I just thought that was I talked about this the other day, and I wanted to revisit that because I thought it was so sharing that with the class. How's everybody learning today? What else? See, not trying to get anybody canceled here. So a lot of the topics, discussions that I'd probably be willing to have, as far as politics are concerned or social issues, I'll try to avoid those. If that's a head-to-head topic you want to have, but for me, otherwise it's just, me talking to myself. Why does my opinion matter to myself, right? It's just self-validation. I don't need to do that. So a lot of stuff that you hear me talk about that that I want to bring to the podcast, it's not going to be my input on social issues, or it's probably just going to be cool shit that I want to share with Bueno Days. Now, might be some fucked up situations to discuss, to talk about, things that are happening in the news, frankly, pretty fucking atrocious. We live in a third world country. Which I always hated that term. I know a lot of people, well, I don't know, this might be common, but the whole first, second, third world was never really a sign that a country was better developed or safer to live in. It always referred to the economic relationship. Thanks. Yeah, you've got a big penis. Good job. I mean, we're all trying to get in, man. I don't know why. Good job. You're in front of me now. Okay. So, there is the economic relationship that country might have had to the rise of either communist states back in the the 50s, the 60s, post World War II. First world states were associated with U.S., the UK, much of the Western Bloc, and throughout Europe. Second world referred to Russia and its allies in the Eastern Bloc. And third world kind of referred to parties that were uninvolved with either one of them. So when we say third world, it's important to think that we're not talking about shitty ass places. They were just not involved back in the 1950s, military, political, economic alliances that were these massive political behemoths, these developing nuclear weaponry. Those states, basically. First and second world developed nuclear weapons. Third world, no nuclear weapons. That being said, fucking ridiculous. The conditions we find ourselves in, it's largely self-imposed. Probably gonna cut that. Really? This dude is driving 30 miles an hour on 270. There's no one in front of you. Oh my God. 30 miles an hour. That's crazy. You know, around the airport. There's no car in front of him. That's his local speed limit. Yeah. Oh boy. Of course I drive like an asshole, so maybe it's me. It's not, but you know, sometimes it's probably me. Just another beautiful day. Hey y'all, TGIF. It's another Friday here. Welcome to the weekend. Anybody got plans? Drop a link if you're feeling a little crazy, a little dazed these days. You know, help boost us on the algorithm and contribute your own beats. So everyone be good, take care. I will see y'all later.